Hello, my name is Eva Feldman. I'm a professor of neurology here at Michigan Medicine. I'm also director of the Neural Network for Emerging Therapies and ALS Center of Excellence. I had the pleasure of speaking on June 25th at the National Academies of Science on how chemical exposures impact brain health and disease. I particularly focused on our work on ALS, also known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. ALS is a deadly disease, and the state of Michigan has the highest prevalence of this disorder of any state in the United States. We strongly believe this is because of the environmental risk factors that occur in the state of Michigan. Here is a map of Michigan. All the red X's and boxes indicate unclean Superfund sites. Here is a map indicating the prevalence of ALS in the state of Michigan, with the darker colors indicating a higher prevalence. That means more cases of ALS. Note how the cases of ALS here match the prevalence of the Superfund sites here in Michigan. Indeed, even in areas of Michigan that have a low density population, we see in the presence of unclean Superfund sites a high prevalence of ALS. This has led us to measure the pollutants in the blood of our patients. And what we have found is there's a large increase in pesticides shown here in the blood of our patients. Indeed, if you measure pesticides in our patients, there's a 5-fold increased risk of these patients having high levels of pesticides. We then measure not only pesticides, but flame retardants and other plastics. And what we found is if we composed an environmental risk score, which is a composite of all of these measurements, this risk score combined showed that the ALS risk is 7-fold greater when you have been exposed to pollutants. And it also increases the mortality of our patients with ALS. We have published our results in multiple journals. Here's an example of one. And what I'd like to point out is everyone from the New York Times to the Today Show was interested in our findings because the intersection of the environment with brain health and neurodegenerative disease is so critical for all of us to understand. I'd like to end by showing you a recent viewpoint that we published calling for the need for environmental research for ALS. And in less than one short week, it had greater than 2,000 views, so that the public, you, along with myself, patients with ALS, the community, we all strongly believe that we must continue our work to understand how our polluted environment causes disease and how we can prevent this. Thank you so much.